Hello, welcome or welcome back. So I'm sort of filming on my phone again today because I don't have a huge amount of time, and I'm just starting to wonder if I rushed washing my hair. I don't know. I'll find out when it dries. Yeah, I've been saying for ages that I was going to come on and do a kind of like life update sort of thing. But in all honesty, I just haven't had the opportunity to do it. But I have got about 45 minutes before I've got to go and pick up my son from nursery. So I thought I would kind of just sit down and have a bit of a debrief. My hair, my hair's driving me insane at the moment, which reminds me I need to message my hairdresser in a minute and cancel my appointment on Thursday, which is frustrating, but we move. So yeah, I wanted to go into not detail, but like into kind of each area of things that were going on, just to give a kind of full picture of things. And I know I owe this to nobody. It's more just for, I don't even know. I don't even know what it's for. I mean, if you are wondering, you know, what's going on in my life, then maybe this will be, you know, good for you to watch. But I don't really know. It's not necessarily to help anyone, but I just wanted to almost like clear the air sort of thing. And my brain has just been so consumed lately with just so many things, which has kind of prevented me in a lot of ways from filming. I've managed to do some of my like sort my life out type videos over time, and I'm kind of just playing catch up at the moment, editing them and stuff. I'm still a long way off that list if you are wondering and you are kind of following that along. But yeah, life's just been, it's a lot. It's been a lot recently. I literally just said to my daughter's school teacher, she messaged yesterday because I hadn't replied to a couple of things, and I just said, look, sorry I haven't replied, like life has just been a lot and I'm in survival mode, and I very much am. Me, my partner, like we're just in survival mode. And yeah, it's not really stemmed from anywhere in particular. Like we've been in survival mode since we had children. Like my eldest is almost 5, so we've been in survival mode for basically 5 years now. And I cannot begin to tell you how intense that feeling is, of just feeling like you're trying to keep your head above the water every single day for years. Like it's intense. When like my sister had children, I didn't understand it. Her first 2 children came together. She had twins, and then a few years later she had a third, and I was like, you know, it can't be that bad, especially if she's got twins and she's having another child. But I do see it now, and I get how difficult it is, especially because, you know, there's additional needs with her children as well, much like with mine. And yeah, it's a lot. Me and my husband this weekend literally came back yesterday. Well, we were only away for a night, but my in-laws came down Saturday, booked a hotel for me and my husband, basically said, go out for a meal, we'll pay for it, we'll pay for the hotel, just go. Be out of the house, be yourselves, be, you know, just have some you time, basically, and try and get a full night's sleep, which didn't happen, let me tell you, because I couldn't sleep. I just couldn't sleep, which is annoying, but anyway, whatever. But it's like we've needed that for so long, that one, it was basically about 24 hours, like it wasn't enough. And we were so exhausted from the last 5 years that I felt like we couldn't really properly enjoy it. We were just so tired. We just wanted to be in quiet and just lay down and sleep. Basically, that's what we wanted to use the time for, which kind of sucks. But hey ho, hopefully we can try it again, soon. But yeah, it's. I mean, as I said, I'm probably not going to talk in depth about every little thing, but I will kind of summarize like what's going on with me at the moment, because I know I have done a few of these kind of chatty videos where I've spoken about, like my mental health and stuff like that. And I think it's quite important to share those things and to share, as time goes on as well, because I think in every video that I've done of those, I've expressed how much I'm struggling, and it's not any different now. I don't even know when the last one I done of those was. A couple of months ago. I think it was over the summer. I know I sat down in the same spot actually and filmed it on my phone and told you how much I was struggling just with life in general. And as I say, that's still very much the case now. I'm very much struggling. So backtrack slightly, about 6 or 7 weeks ago, maybe, actually no, we'll backtrack to 8 weeks ago, when I spoke to my GP over the phone, something to do with one of the kids, and I said, actually, while I've got you on the phone, is there any chance you can book in even just a phone call to talk about me, basically? And she was like, no, we'll do a face-to-face. Yep, that's fine. Like, we've been saying about it for ages, and which melted my heart. Like the fact that she'd remembered from weeks ago me saying, I really just need to book in and, book in myself, but I just don't have any capacity at the moment, so I can't. But it just got to the point I was like, do you know what? I just need to do it. And I did. I spoke to her, and she gave me like an anti-anxiety medication, which I came onto Instagram to do a mental health update, and I said that I'd just been prescribed these medication, and I got it like towards the end of the week, and I wanted to give it the weekend before starting it, because like I have quite bad health anxiety, and I don't like starting new medications because like the fear of any side effects and stuff. So I had quite a lot of important things to do that weekend, so I didn't start the medication until either the Monday or the Tuesday after. And during the consultation thing that I had with the GP, I even said I was kind of reluctant to start medication because I'm on the waiting list for titration for ADHD medication, and I'm worried that if I turn around and say, yeah, I'm on this medication, I've literally just started it, they'll kind of bump me off the list. That's what I was worried about. For kind of context, I'd done the NHS Right to Choose, so I had the diagnosis essentially privately, and the medication was going to be done that way. So it was all like a very unknown sort of situation. Like I didn't know what would happen if, I did start antidepressants or anti-anxiety medication. I didn't know if they would bump me off, and I didn't want to risk it because I'd waited so long. And anyway, so I took the first of the anti-anxiety medication on, as I say, the Monday or the Tuesday, and the next day, I kid you not, I had an email from Psychiatry UK saying, right, we're ready to titrate you now, we'll be in touch with an appointment. And I was like, oh, really? You could not write it. You could not write it. So I didn't start the medication. Also, at the same time that I saw the GP, she arranged for me to have some bloods done, and it came back that I had really low iron. So That was just like another thing, like adding to the mix of struggles. Like the struggle bus was fucking struggling, let me tell you. So yeah, anyways, I started the medication. I was prescribed one specific medication. I don't think I can like talk about names of meds on here, so I'm not going to, but you know, if you're curious, just message me on Instagram or something and I'll, you know, I'm more than happy to talk about it. But yeah, so I started on this one medication. I did, you know, like increase the dose every week for 4 weeks. Didn't really see any kind of improvement. Spoke to the prescriber about it, and she was like, right, well, we can try something else if you want. Actually, no, I think it was only 3 weeks, and we realised that nothing really was improving. So she was like, right, well, if you're happy, we can, you know, try something different and see how that goes. So we did that, and she asked me a bunch of questions and, you know, asked about my physical health, my mental health, any medications I might have been taking. I'm not even gonna, I would normally pause for these annoying bikes that go past, but you're just gonna have to, well, it's gone now. Yeah, so I said, yeah, that's fine, I'm happy to start new medication. Physical health is basically fine. I'm on medication for low iron. I know to take it at a different time of day to the ADHD meds. And I also said, I'm not sure if the medication seems as if it's not working, or we're not seeing an improvement based on the fact that there's a lot of environmental factors, like at home, that are causing me stress. So I was like, I don't know if it's that's, you know, basically stopping the medication working as it should, or me not being able to see any positive effects, if that makes sense. So she just basically said, okay, that's fine. If things continue to, you know, get worse or anything, let us know, and then we'll have to stop the medication. And that just like affirmed it to me. Like, I was so glad that I didn't mention that I'd started this anti-anxiety medication right when they just emailed me, because I just had this feeling that they would basically say, right, we can't do anything then. But yeah, so I'm on the new medication now. I've been on it for 2 weeks. Again, I'm not really seeing massive signs of improvement, but again, I don't know if that's because I'm just under so much stress at the moment. My mental health's not in a great place, blah blah blah. But I'm almost not willing to say that and admit that to them, because they've already said they'll basically kick me off, and I've waited so long to get to this point that I don't want to give up now. Basically, I just need to see some kind of signs of improvement, which I'm really just trying to kind of be conscious of, because they kind of mark it in different areas. So like impulsivity, food, like eating habits, sleep, hyperactivity, and things like that. There's a couple of different things that they kind of measure, whether it's like better or worse or the same. And most of mine have just been like the same basically across the board. So yeah, it's been a weird, as I say, kind of, I don't know how long it's been. We must be on week 6 now, actually, yeah, because I did 3 weeks of the first med, and then she said to change it. We're into week 3 of the new one, so I'm into week 6 of taking it. I'm not sure how long the titration process is. I want to say it's around 8 weeks, potentially 12. I mean, I feel like 12 makes more sense because they're like 4-week kind of blocks, the way they do the dosages. Like, they increase the dose every week for 4 weeks. Like, I don't know. I'm probably not making a huge amount of sense, but anyway. Yeah, so my mental health, as I say, is not in a great place. My ADHD symptoms feel like they're not in a good place. I'm really, really struggling at the moment, and I'm also really struggling to know what is the issue, for want of a better word, because I keep thinking, you know, is it just the stress that I'm under? Is it anxiety that I'm experiencing? Is it some level of depression and PTSD that I've got? Even, you know, is it the ADHD symptoms? Is it just a mixture of everything? You know, like, I just don't know. And it's really hard to try and help myself through those things if I don't really know what I'm trying to do and what I'm trying to target. Because, for example, with like the ADHD side of things, I really struggle to sit down and I really struggle to kind of focus and just take the time, which I feel like my mental health needs. My mental health needs me to sit in the freaking bath for like an hour with, you know, a coffee and a book and just chill. But my ADHD brain cannot do that. And yeah, it's the struggle is real. The struggle is real. And also, I just thought of something a second ago and it's just gone out of my brain. Oh, the executive dysfunction. The executive dysfunction is basically taking over my life at the moment. And again, I don't know if that is just because there's so many other things going on at the moment that it almost seems so much worse. Like, for me, just as an example, if I have an email from someone or something like that that I need to kind of take time to kind of respond to, sometimes it's not even necessary that I need to take time, but I still need to think about what I'm saying. And there's been numerous cases recently where I've had that, where I've had like a message or an email or whatever, and I've not been able to reply to it because my brain is just so like, this is what I imagine my brain is doing, like, all the time. Like my daughter on the trampoline in my brain. And I struggle to just kind of sit, compose myself, write what I need to write in a response, not question whether I sound like an absolute knobhead, and just actually, you know, finish the task at hand. And I think a lot of that is because I've had a few occasions, quite a few occasions recently, where I've had that and I've psyched myself up to do this response, and I thought, right, cool, that's done now. I can move on to something else. Cool. And then like 20 minutes later, then they reply again, and I'm like, oh, back to square one, back to psyching myself up to reply again. Like, if it's a simple email that doesn't need a reply, or it's just like a quick yes or no type thing, even then, actually, if it's a quick yes or no, it never works out like that. But my school, my daughter's school, for example, they do like focus week on each child, and they ask that you send in 4 pictures of the child doing various things so they can kind of share them with the class and talk about them and blah blah blah. I got asked to do that beginning of last week, I think. Maybe even been the week before, I'm not sure at this point. And I froze on that, which sounds so stupid. I didn't need physical pictures. They didn't need to be printed or anything like that. They have like an app thing that you can just upload the pictures to, and then they've got them. That's all I needed to do. I just needed to pick 4 pictures, upload them, and just be done. Now, I feel like to any normal person, any typical person, I hate the word normal, but any typical person, as in neurotypical, that seems like such a simple thing, such a simple request. But my brain just couldn't do it. And all those things that I've mentioned, they're all just kind of sitting on top of each other. They're all building up. My mental health being shot to pieces, my ADHD symptoms just being just all over the freaking crack, my executive dysfunction's just long fucked off. I mean, basically since I had children. And then you add in the trying to, you know, be a wife, trying to maintain a house, trying to figure out what even we're going to do, because as we speak, it's less than a year until my husband leaves the military. So we need to, he needs to find a new job. We need to find and buy a house. We don't know where we're going to buy a house. We don't know if we can afford to buy a house if I'm not working, which again is just like another thing. And yeah, so there's like that. And then there's like, then you put on top of the children, normal day to day, trying to keep the children alive. That's one level of it. But then you chuck in all the other stuff on top. You chuck in my daughter having additional needs that half the time we can't figure out. You know, there'll be occasions where we'll go days where she's hitting us, she's kicking us, she's screaming for no reason, or seemingly no reason, and like that's a lot. That's literally torture. And then another child on top of that who has his own set of needs that again aren't being met because we're trying to, as I say, keep our heads above the water and just keep everybody alive, that we're kind of struggling to meet, not basic needs, obviously the basic needs are met, they're clean, they're fed, etc. But like the you know, the next level of need. And I think that's just the thing. That's what I'm struggling with, is just having all of that stuff built up at the same time as my brain, like I say, doing all this. And I just don't know. I just don't know. I think I mentioned this on Instagram or TikTok, I can't remember. I did a video recently just kind of having a bit of a rant like this, and I said I honestly cannot comprehend at the moment returning to work. I've been out of work for the best part of 4 years. No, yeah, basically 5 years, because we went into like another lockdown just before I had my daughter. And I haven't been able to return to work since. And I just, as I say, I just cannot comprehend it at the moment. Like, I just feel like, I mean, if it doesn't rain, it fucking pours. Like, there's just been so many things that keep happening, and I'm like, how the fuck am I meant to add in working on top of this and trying to even keep my head above the water? I can't keep my head above the water right now. I just about am, hence why I'm literally sat here talking to you right now. You know, I want to just be laying on the bed crying. To be quite honest with you, that's how I feel right now. But yeah, I'm just about keeping my head above the water as it stands. So if I threw work into it, I honestly think I'd crumble. I don't think I would last, because I just can't, I can't foresee how on earth that is meant to work out. I just can't. But yeah, anyway, that's the long and short of it. I mean, there's, as I say, it's multi-layered in every different area. You know, there's various things going on with my daughter, in terms of, like, you know, waiting for EHCPs, DLA responses, chasing various appointments with specialists, therapy. You know, the list goes on and on and on. And that's probably one thing actually that I almost was naive to, having a child with additional needs. I kind of thought it's going to be hard, like it's going to be hard. But you'll have support. The professionals will be involved, you'll get the support, and everything will be great. No. It's as if the professionals know how shit a position you're in, and seems like, I know that some of them probably aren't, but it feels like being the parent of a child with additional needs feels like they're trying to make your life more difficult. Nobody's willing to help you. Barely anyone can give you the right answers. You have to fight for everything when you've got nothing left to give. And every day, I mean, they say every day's a school day, but when you've got a child with additional needs and you're basically having to be, you know, a lot of the time a speech and language therapist, a physiotherapist, an occupational therapist, every single day, all day that your child is in your care, you're having to do those things, like consciously. Like my daughter, she's got a few words, not a lot of context to it, not a lot of understanding. I have to physically talk to her different to my almost 3-year-old, because that's the only way that anything's gonna, it's just the way I need to talk to her for her to understand and to learn. And again, that's just another thing that's just, it's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah. I don't even know. I don't even know anymore. And I'm trying so hard as well to just have some kind of normality within the difficulty that is life and the stress that, is going on right now. But as I say, it's just like constant pouring rain. Like there's constantly something else. Like my filling broke a few months ago. Finally got a chance to see the dentist last week. Right, cool, that's going to cost you £600 to fix, that you definitely don't have. The car broke down the same week, that again has cost hundreds of pounds to fix, but we need the car. So it's just like there's just constantly something, constantly chasing our tails. And as I say, I just want to have one thing to be able to kind of almost escape from that reality, escape from the stress for a little bit, and just kind of have a bit of me. And for me, that was YouTube. And it still is when I get the chance. But that's just the thing. I just don't. And I've spoken numerous times about not being sure whether to just kind of give up completely. I'm like, it's just more stress than it's worth at the moment. I love it. I love doing it. I love having the escape, but at the same time, the stress that it then causes when I'm like more pissed off at myself that I haven't had the opportunity, or sometimes when I do have the opportunity of an evening when the kids are actually sleeping by some miracle, where I can sit down, I'm like, no, I'm just too fucking exhausted. I'm too exhausted to sit down with my laptop and actually have to think about something. I literally just want to zone out. I just want to zone out. But yeah, I don't know. There's nothing that can really be done to fix the whole thing. It's all just progressive, and by the time some of those things are fixed, there's going to be more. I can guarantee it, because that's how life goes. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna go, because I've got about 20 odd minutes before, as I say, I've got to go and pick up my son from nursery, and I just want to breathe. I'm scared that I'm going to just sit there and cry, because, as I say, this is kind of how I'm feeling right now. But if I need to, I need to, whatever. But yeah, anyways, I hope you're all doing well. Let me know down below if there's, I don't even know, just pop a nice comment down below, please. I just need some kind of positivity. Even if you just put a little heart emoji, just to let me know that you got this far, and you're giving me basically a, what's the word, virtual pat on the back. And yeah, I'll see you soon. I'm not sure when I'm going to upload this, because I can do it straight from my phone. It's a lot easier. I'm not going to like edit it or anything. I'm just going to upload it as it is. But it should be pretty quick. So I don't know whether that I'll just upload it today. But I have got a video, I believe. I don't even think I've exported it yet, actually. I was going to say I've scheduled it, but I haven't. I've scheduled it in my head. I've not even exported it yet. But I've edited it. So I just need to do that, but that might be my either tonight or tomorrow job. So I might get 2 videos this week. You lucky old things. And basically it's just me ranting. So yeah, anyway, as I say, I hope you're doing well, and I will speak to you real soon. Bye bye.